Welcome back to Steffi Fan's channel. Today, we will learn about the issues surrounding the upcoming explosive developments on The Bold and the Beautiful set to air on Friday, December 26th, following the holiday break. After Thursday's repeat episode on Christmas Day, viewers are in for a treat as several major storylines converge in what promises to be an unforgettable episode filled with intrigue, romance, and the seeds of future drama that will shake the foundations of several key relationships in Los Angeles. Will Spencer's beach house celebration. The centerpiece of Friday's episode revolves around an electrifying beach house party hosted by none other than Will Spencer, who has decided to bring together an eclectic mix of guests for what appears to be a casual gathering that could have far-reaching consequences. The guest list reads like a who's who of Port Charles society, with some unexpected attendees making their way to the oceanfront celebration. Among the confirmed guests, Electra Forrester stands out as a natural attendee, given her close connection to Will and their budding friendship that has developed over recent weeks. However, the invitation list extends far beyond the expected crowd, as Finn and his wife Steffi Forrester Finnegan have also received invitations to join the festivities. The inclusion of this power couple adds an interesting dynamic to the gathering, suggesting that this won't be just another typical teenage beach party, but rather a sophisticated affair that bridges multiple generations and social circles within the Los Angeles elite. The most significant invite, however, goes to Dylan, the mysterious newcomer who has been struggling to find her footing in Los Angeles after experiencing a series of traumatic events that would shake anyone to their core. Will and Electra have made it their personal mission to support Dylan through her difficult transition, and this beach house party represents their latest effort to help her integrate into their social circle and move past the darkness that has haunted her recent past. The duo's compassion and willingness to extend friendship to someone who desperately needs it speaks volumes about their character and sets the stage for what could become a transformative friendship, or potentially something far more complicated. Dylan's traumatic past and road to recovery. The shadow of Luna Nozawa looms large over Dylan's storyline, as the tragic incident that claimed Luna's life continues to weigh heavily on Dylan's conscience, despite the fact that she bears no responsibility for what transpired. The circumstances surrounding Luna's death were nothing short of horrific, as Luna unexpectedly darted out into traffic directly in front of Dylan's moving vehicle, giving Dylan absolutely no time to react or prevent the inevitable collision. The sudden appearance of Luna in the roadway left Dylan with zero opportunity to brake, swerve, or take any evasive action that might have prevented the fatal impact. In the aftermath of that terrible night, Dylan has been consumed by waves of guilt and self-doubt, constantly replaying the moment in her mind and wondering if there was anything at all, that she could have done differently to change the outcome. However, the harsh reality remains that Dylan is completely blameless in this tragedy. Luna's decision to run out in front of a moving car was unpredictable and unavoidable from Dylan's perspective. No reasonable person could have anticipated or prevented what happened, yet Dylan continues to torture herself with what-ifs and scenarios that exist only in her imagination. The psychological toll of being involved in someone's death, regardless of fault, cannot be underestimated. And Dylan's struggle to process these emotions and move forward with her life has been painfully evident in her recent behavior and interactions with others. Will and Electra have recognized Dylan's need for support and normalcy, which is precisely why they've been so insistent on including her in social activities and helping her rebuild some semblance of a regular life. The beach house party represents a crucial step in Dylan's healing journey, offering her a chance to experience joy, connection, and belonging in an environment free from judgment or the constant reminders of her traumatic past. As Dylan begins to relax and enjoy herself at the gathering, Will and Electra will feel a sense of pride and satisfaction in seeing their friend finally starting to emerge from the darkness that has enveloped her for so long. An unexpected overnight invitation. As the party atmosphere reaches its peak and the guests are thoroughly enjoying themselves, Will make a spontaneous decision that could have interesting ramifications for the future. Recognizing that Dylan seems genuinely happy and relaxed for perhaps the first time since arriving in Los Angeles, Will extend an overnight invitation to Dylan, suggesting that she should stay at the beach house rather than heading home after the party winds down. This generous offer comes from a place of genuine friendship and concern, as Will wants to maximize Dylan's positive experience and give her more time to bond with the group in a comfortable, supportive environment. Elektra will enthusiastically endorse Will's suggestion, expressing her excitement at the prospect of having additional time to spend with Dylan and continue building their friendship. The idea of an impromptu sleepover adds an element of spontaneity and adventure to the evening, transforming what was already a memorable gathering into something even more special and meaningful. For Dylan, this invitation represents acceptance and belonging to things she has desperately craved since her arrival in town. The gesture from both Will and Elektra demonstrates that they view her not as an outsider or someone to be pitied, but as a genuine friend whose company they value and enjoy. The mysterious direction of Dylan's storyline. While viewers have been given glimpses into Dylan's troubled past and current struggles, The Bold and the Beautiful has been remarkably tight-lipped about the ultimate direction of her storyline and what role she will play in the larger tapestry of drama unfolding in Los Angeles. The show's writers have carefully constructed Dylan's character arc to keep audiences guessing about her true purpose and the potential bombshells that may be lurking just beneath the surface. This deliberate ambiguity has created a sense of anticipation and intrigue surrounding Dylan, as viewers wonder whether she will emerge as a sympathetic character deserving of a happy ending or if darker revelations await. One particularly intriguing possibility involves a scene that will feature Finn utilizing the outdoor shower at the beach house, presumably after enjoying some beach activities or a swim in the ocean. The specifics of this scene suggest that Finn will be shirtless during this shower moment, creating a visually striking tableau that could serve multiple narrative purposes. There's speculation among fans and spoiler enthusiasts that Dylan might happen upon this scene and find herself captivated by Finn's physique and overall presence. If this scenario plays out as some suspect, it could mark the beginning of an unhealthy fixation or obsession on Dylan's part, with Finn becoming the unwitting object of her attention and potentially dangerous affection. This wouldn't be the first time The Bold and the Beautiful has explored the territory of obsessive behavior and inappropriate attachments, and Dylan's vulnerable psychological state could make her particularly susceptible to developing intense, irrational feelings for someone who shows her kindness or simply catches her attention at the right moment. An obsession with Finn would create immediate conflict with Steffi, potentially positioning Dylan as a threat to one of the show's most beloved couples and setting up explosive confrontations down the line. Alternative obsession scenarios. However, Finn isn't the only potential target for Dylan's fixation. The very fact that Will and Elektra have been so kind, welcoming, and supportive of Dylan during her darkest hours could make either of them vulnerable to becoming the focus of an unhealthy attachment. If Dylan develops romantic or obsessive feelings for Will, it would create a complicated love triangle scenario that would test the strength of Will and Elektra's friendship and potentially destroy the trust and goodwill that has been building between all three characters. Will's genuine kindness and lack of judgment might be misinterpreted by Dylan as romantic interest, leading her to believe there's potential for something more than friendship between them. Similarly, Elektra's warmth and acceptance could trigger feelings of attachment in Dylan that go beyond the boundaries of normal friendship. In Dylan's fragile emotional state, the simple act of being treated with dignity and compassion might feel so profound and meaningful that she begins to view Elektra through a distorted lens, possibly developing either romantic feelings or an unhealthy dependency that manifests as possessiveness and jealousy when Elektra pays attention to others, regardless of which direction the writers ultimately choose. What's clear is that Dylan is being systematically woven into the fabric of the show's core cast, forming connections with established characters who occupy important positions within the various family dynasties that drive the Bold and the Beautiful's ongoing narratives. These connections aren't being developed randomly or without purpose. They're clearly laying the groundwork for significant story developments that will ripple through multiple character arcs and create lasting consequences for everyone involved. Katie's fashion house dreams become reality. Meanwhile, in a completely separate but equally significant storyline, Katie Spencer finds herself on the precipice of a major career milestone that she never quite believed would actually materialize. In conversations with her husband Bill Spencer, Katie will openly express her disbelief and amazement that she now owns and operates her own fashion house, a dream that seemed impossibly out of reach not so long ago. The surreal nature of her success has left Katie struggling to fully accept and embrace her new reality, as if at any moment she might wake up and discover it was all an elaborate fantasy. Bill, ever the supportive partner, will reassure Katie with characteristic confidence and conviction, insisting that not only is her fashion house absolutely real, but that she's destined to achieve remarkable things and leave an indelible mark on the fashion industry. His unwavering belief in Katie's abilities and potential serves as an anchor for her during moments of self-doubt, reminding her that she deserves this opportunity and possesses all the skills, vision, and determination necessary to build something truly special and enduring. The big presentation. Katie's confidence will be put to the test when she delivers a crucial presentation at Spencer Publications, with both Logan Forrester and Ridge Forrester in attendance to hear her vision for the future of her fashion house. This presentation represents Katie's opportunity to articulate her creative direction, business strategy, and long-term goals to two of the most influential figures in the fashion industry. The stakes couldn't be higher, as Katie knows that gaining Brooke and Ridge's support and respect could open doors and create opportunities that would otherwise remain closed to a newcomer in such a competitive field. During her presentation, Katie will unveil not just her plans and designs, but also reveal the carefully chosen name for her fashion house, a decision that carries enormous symbolic weight and will define her brand's identity for years to come. The selection of this name has clearly been a thoughtful, deliberate process, as Katie understands that it needs to encapsulate her vision, values, and aesthetic while also resonating with consumers and standing out in a crowded marketplace. Brooke's skepticism creates tension. Unfortunately for Katie, not everyone shares Bill's enthusiastic confidence in her abilities and prospects for success. Brooke, despite being Katie's sister, harbors significant doubts about Katie's readiness to run her own fashion house and compete in an industry that has chewed up and spit out countless talented designers who lack the business acumen or resilience to survive long-term. Brooke's skepticism isn't necessarily rooted in malice or jealousy, but rather in a perhaps overly realistic assessment of the challenges Katie will face and the very real possibility of failure in such a cutthroat business environment. This lack of faith from her own sister cuts Katie deeply, creating a rift between them that will manifest in escalating conflict and tension as Friday's episode unfolds. The disappointment Katie feels at not receiving Brooke's full support and encouragement is compounded by the public nature of Brooke's doubts, as her skeptical attitude is on display in front of Ridge and potentially other industry professionals. The underlying message Brooke seems to be sending, that Katie isn't quite capable or ready for this venture, strikes at Katie's deepest insecurities and threatens to undermine the confidence she's worked so hard to build. Donna's peacemaking efforts. Recognizing the growing animosity between her sisters, Donna Logan Forrester will step into her familiar role as family mediator and peacemaker, attempting to smooth over the rough edges of their conflict and prevent a complete breakdown in their relationship. Donna's diplomatic approach and genuine love for both Katie and Brooke position her as the ideal person to help them find common ground and remember what's truly important: their bond as sisters that should transcend professional disagreements or differences of opinion. However, despite Donna's best intentions and skilled mediation efforts, the fundamental issues driving Katie and Brooke apart aren't easily resolved. The tension that erupts in Friday's episode appears to be just the opening salvo in what promises to be an extended period of conflict between the Logan sisters, with spoilers indicating that their relationship will continue to deteriorate in the coming weeks and months. The fashion house venture has clearly touched a nerve and exposed fault lines in the sisters' relationship that may have been present all along but remained dormant until now. The bold and the beautiful spoilers promise that Logan family drama will be a major focus moving forward, with Katie and Brooke's professional rivalry and personal conflicts creating shockwaves that affect not just them, but everyone in their orbit. As these powerful women clash over matters of business, respect, and family loyalty, viewers can expect explosive confrontations, emotional revelations, and possibly even alliances that shift in unexpected ways. The stage is set for compelling drama that will keep audiences riveted and eager to see how these complicated sister dynamics ultimately resolve, if they resolve at all. Stay tuned for all the shocking developments ahead. Next, we will learn about the issue of Dylan's potentially dangerous return to the bold and the beautiful, and how the show might be setting up one of its most explosive storylines for 2026. The holidays at the Forrester Mansion are typically filled with joy and celebration, but this Christmas season may bring unexpected complications that could threaten one of the show's most beloved couples. Dylan's mysterious return to Los Angeles. Dylan McAvoy made her initial appearance on The Bold and the Beautiful as Hayes' elementary school teacher during one of the most chaotic periods in Los Angeles society. At that time, Luna Nozawa was wreaking havoc among the city's most privileged families, creating destruction and leaving trauma in her wake. The connection between Dylan and Luna became devastatingly personal when Dylan accidentally struck Luna with her vehicle in what appeared to be a tragic accident. However, recent Bold and the Beautiful spoilers suggest that this incident may have transferred something far more sinister than physical injuries. Dylan might have absorbed some of Luna's unhinged psychological patterns during that fateful encounter, potentially setting up a dangerous obsession that could explode in the new year. The character of Dylan initially seemed innocent and well-meaning, simply a dedicated teacher caught up in circumstances beyond her control. She expressed genuine remorse for the accident and appeared to be struggling with the guilt of what happened. But as the weeks have progressed, viewers have noticed subtle changes in her behavior that hint at something darker lurking beneath the surface. Her actions have become increasingly questionable, raising red flags about her true intentions and mental state. The Forrester Christmas celebration takes an unexpected turn. Following the traditional annual Christmas party held at the magnificent Forrester Mansion, Steffi and Finn decided to extend the holiday spirit by hosting a more intimate gathering at their stunning beach house. This secondary celebration was specifically organized for Electra Forrester and Will Spencer, two young adults who have quickly become fan favorites with their fresh romance and genuine chemistry. The couple wanted to give the younger generation a chance to celebrate Christmas in true California fashion, complete with breathtaking ocean views, the soothing sounds of crashing waves, and the relaxed atmosphere that only a beach setting can provide. The beach house party represents everything that makes California living so appealing. With the Pacific Ocean as their backdrop, the festivities take on a more casual and intimate tone compared to the formal elegance of the Forrester Mansion celebration. The salty sea breeze, the warm sand beneath their feet, and the endless horizon create the perfect setting for making memories. For Finn, this location offers the added bonus of being able to indulge in his passion for surfing, something he rarely gets to enjoy given his demanding schedule as a doctor at the hospital. The infamous outdoor shower scene. This week's preview episodes featured a particularly significant shot that Bold and the Beautiful producers deliberately highlighted for important reasons. The scene shows Dr. John Finnegan washing off under the beach house's famous outdoor shower, a fixture that has become iconic among longtime viewers of the show. The camera lingers on this moment, capturing Finn as he rinses away the salt water and sand from his surfing session, completely unaware that he's being observed. This isn't simply gratuitous eye candy for the audience, though Finn's physical appearance certainly doesn't hurt the show's ratings. The outdoor shower has a notorious history on the bold and the beautiful of attracting the attention of unexpected onlookers, and this time appears to be no different. The strategic focus on this particular shot strongly suggests that someone is watching Finn during this private moment, someone whose interest goes beyond casual observation. The producers rarely waste screen time on meaningless footage, and when they choose to emphasize a scene like this, it typically foreshadows important plot developments that will unfold in the coming weeks. The outdoor shower scene has become a storytelling device that signals romantic complications and forbidden attractions throughout the show's history. Dylan's lonely holiday and unexpected invitation. Dylan's return to the show this week coincides with the Christmas holiday. But unlike the other characters who are surrounded by family and loved ones, she appears to be spending the season alone. The loneliness and isolation she's experiencing during what should be a joyful time of year could be amplifying any psychological instability she might have developed. Recognizing her solitary situation, the kind-hearted Elektra and will extend a thoughtful invitation for Dylan to join them at the beach house celebration to toast the holidays together. Their gesture seems innocent and compassionate, a simple act of including someone who would otherwise be alone during Christmas. In subsequent scenes, Will and Elektra go even further with their hospitality, telling Dylan that she's welcome to sleep over at the beach house rather than driving home late at night. At first glance, Dylan's facial expression in response to this invitation appears to suggest she might be harboring romantic feelings for Will. Many viewers initially interpreted her reaction as the look of someone pining after a man who's already in a committed relationship. However, closer examination of her behavior patterns and the strategic placement of certain scenes suggests that her target might actually be someone entirely different. Someone whose relationship with Steffi represents one of the show's most stable marriages. The truth behind Dylan's expression. While the surface interpretation points to Dylan having a crush on Will, the evidence is mounting that she's actually fixated on someone else's husband. The timing of Dylan seeing Finn at the outdoor shower, combined with her lingering presence at the beach house and her carefully concealed reactions, all point toward a developing obsession with Dr. Finnegan. This would mean that Elektra and Will's relationship remains safe from any romantic interference, preserving their status as the show's golden young couple. But it also introduces a far more dangerous threat to Steffi and Finn's marriage, one that neither of them saw coming. Dylan's apparent crush on Finn appears to have started as something innocent, perhaps simple admiration or gratitude for his compassionate response to her situation. Finn demonstrated remarkable kindness when he physically embraced Dylan and explicitly told her that she was still fundamentally a good person despite the tragic accident that resulted in Luna's death. He graciously accepted her apology and offered her the forgiveness she desperately sought. For someone as isolated and guilt-ridden as Dylan, this act of compassion from an attractive, successful doctor might have planted seeds that are now growing into something far more troubling. Dylan's questionable behavior patterns. Bold and the beautiful viewers have been increasingly uncertain about Dylan's true character and motivations since her introduction to the show. Several of her choices have raised legitimate concerns about her mental stability and ethical boundaries. Most notably, she made the bizarre decision to text Elektra from an anonymous phone number rather than simply revealing her identity from the start. This deceptive approach to communication is not the behavior of someone who is entirely stable and well-intentioned. It suggests a person who operates in shadows, someone who tests boundaries and manipulates situations rather than approaching them honestly. The theory that Dylan might have somehow absorbed Luna's psychological instability during their violent encounter adds another disturbing layer to her character development. Luna was certifiably unhinged, capable of extreme violence and manipulation without remorse. If Dylan sustained not just physical trauma, but some kind of psychological contamination from that experience, whether through actual head injury or psychological identification with Luna's fearless boundary breaking, she could be far more dangerous than anyone realizes. The accident might have fundamentally altered her brain chemistry or triggered latent psychological issues that were previously dormant. A pattern of women obsessing over Finn. Dylan's potential obsession with Finn wouldn't be unprecedented in the show's recent history. She represents the latest in a concerning pattern of women who have developed inappropriate attractions to the handsome doctor. Hope Logan famously indulged in elaborate daydreams and fantasies about Finn during a period when they were spending time together as friends. Her imagination ran wild with romantic scenarios featuring Finn, despite his marriage to Steffi and her own complicated relationship status. Those daydreams created significant tension and nearly destroyed the friendship between Hope and Steffi before Hope eventually gained control of her feelings. Before Hope's fantasy period, Paris Buckingham developed strong romantic feelings for Finn during her time working as the live-in nanny for his children. Living in such close proximity to Finn, observing him as a devoted father and husband, Paris found herself increasingly attracted to him despite knowing the relationship was completely off-limits. She struggled with these feelings and eventually had to remove herself from the situation to avoid causing damage to his marriage. The pattern of women falling for Finn has been well established, but Dylan's situation feels different because of the psychological concerns surrounding her mental state. The setup for 2026's explosive storyline, The Bold and the Beautiful, appears to be methodically constructing the foundation for a major storyline that will dominate the early months of 2026. All the pieces are being carefully positioned. Dylan's questionable mental stability following her accident with Luna, her growing presence in the lives of Finn and his family, the intimate setting of the beach house where boundaries naturally become more relaxed, and Finn's compassionate nature that could be misinterpreted as romantic interest. When an unstable person fixates on someone who has shown them extraordinary kindness, the obsession can escalate rapidly and dangerously. The outdoor shower scene serves as the catalyst moment when Dylan's feelings potentially shifted from simple gratitude to romantic obsession. Seeing Finn in such a vulnerable and intimate moment, unaware he was being observed, could have triggered something in Dylan's damaged psyche. That image might replay in her mind constantly, fueling fantasies and desires that have no basis in reality. Unlike Hope's harmless daydreams or Paris's manageable crush, Dylan's potential obsession carries the added danger of psychological instability, making her unpredictable and possibly dangerous. Steffi and Finn have weathered numerous threats to their marriage over the years, from his biological mother Sheila's murderous interference to various misunderstandings and external pressures. However, they've never faced a threat quite like Dylan, someone who appears innocent on the surface but may be harboring increasingly dangerous thoughts beneath that facade. As 2026 unfolds, viewers can expect this storyline to intensify, with Dylan's behavior becoming more erratic and her pursuit of Finn more aggressive. The question remains whether Finn will recognize the danger before Dylan's obsession reaches a breaking point, or if Steffi will once again need to defend her family from an unexpected threat hiding in plain sight.